how planes move. Like, you don't think that they're going that fast because they're far away and they're big. Oh my god!
Oh god, and...
Oh no. Oh! Okay.
I'll do it. Makes me feel important.
You're in my seat now.
I am in your seat.
I am Ben.
I am Abraham, and this is 2Fast2Movie. I love how someone's just jumping in. They're going to be like, yeah, this is a normal conversation.
Yeah, no, we swapped seats for today. Just a little prank for you guys.
Damn it.
Anyways, the rumbling happened. We're here. Part 3 got confirmed.
Yeah, it was really weird going from like everyone being like, it's going to be a movie, and like I had tried looking into what like sources everyone was saying for the movie, and I'm like, every time I would look something up, I could never find it. It would always say just sources say there will be a movie, but then there would be no links to the sources.
There was a leaker who was pretty and also Mappa's like previous like record of like taking like Jujutsu Kaisen
and then making actual movies out of the content.
It seemed like a no-brainer and be like, oh yeah, it's gonna happen again.
Real quick, there is actually a very good reason for it to be season 3 confirmed, like part 3 confirmed, and not a fucking movie.
And that is?
Could you imagine us being the very opinionated people that we are, being in a movie theater full of Jaegerists to see the final of this?
You remember the meme where everybody's just in the theater and goes, Eren Jaeger? Imagine that, but like...
cheering genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, there is a valid reason for it to, like, maybe this is not a community that you all want to get together in the same space.
Yeah.
Because we're just a little divided about, genocide.
Yeah. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and jump into this genocide-filled episode, and we will come back for the discussion.
Oh, boy.
That's an understatement.
Oh, it's the boy. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a feels episode, isn't it?
Everything's happy. Just pretend like the end of the world isn't going to happen next year.
So this is what we've been talking about since the beginning of season 4.
This is basically right after the railroad.
Yeah.
When they were like, oh, the Azuma Beach has don't...
Yeah,
there we go.
I am so sorry for what we're about to do to your people. He's just going full Kylo Ren. I know what I have to do, but I don't have the strength to do it.
Yeah, so there's like a group that's claiming to protect subjects of Ymir that they're going to go see tomorrow.
I believe we've been established to several of these groups throughout the story, through flashback.
Yeah, so they're basically going to go like, if they seem okay, we're going to approach them and be like, Paradise wants peace. That's the plan.
That checks out. I understand. Oh, she blushing. Oh, boy. Sir. Sir, this is a bad time.
Snuck up that mountain quick.
Oh.
I'm getting chills. This is like...
Just remember, everyone, Eren is currently killing this family.
Why can't this be the anime? Why can't it just be wholesome all the time? Sasha, he's a kid. Don't give him alcohol.
Oh, happy Eren? No! No, I don't need...
Happy Eren? No, he's a villain always and forever.
Make it black and white and easy for me to hate him. God damn it, you assholes.
Look at it. Oh, look at this shot.
Oh. Yikes. You're being scapegoated for the sake of the Eldians outside of the walls. Fuck.
Yeah. And now we're caught up.
So, combination, seeing what he would have to do.
And then also the words of the people who were like, Paradise has gotta go.
Yeah, the people that wanted to help Eldians wanted to get rid of Paradise. Because no one's talked to an actual person from Paradise in over 100 years.
If I just told him that I loved him, would he have done this? It's gotta be like the fucking...
That's a lot of...
Yeah.
That's a lot of guilt to hold on you, Mikasa. My gosh. So Flock was let in on that info. He did trust Flock. Oh shit.
Yeah. She was gonna go along with Zeke's plan.
That doesn't even get a rise. Fuck. Eren, what did you do to Historia?
Historia knew.
Fuck. Wait a minute. I made a joke about that.
Damn. The commitment that he has and the dedication that he has, like, to just, like, I'm gonna do whatever I can
Holy
to save
shit.
my friends.
Oh, I have so...
Yeah.
Like,
we got a lot.
We got a lot to unpack here.
And here we go. We brought all the guns.
That's not gonna do shit, guys. I'm sorry. You're done. Whoa, it's cutting them in.
Okay. It did
Whoa.
it. Whoa.
Yeah, that is really
That was
powerful.
effective, actually. I didn't expect that.
There's a lot more.
Yeah.
They can swim fucking fast, too. What the fuck?
They're a lot faster than I thought they would be. Like how planes move. Like, you don't think that they're going that fast because they're far away and they're big. Oh my god!
Oh god. And...
Oh no. Oh! No! I would shit myself. Holy shit.
They're not... Fuck.
Yeah, the ground cannons are gonna do shit. Oh my god.
Holy shit! The scale!
Yeah. Oh god.
No.
It's just like season 1. Episode 1. Wow.
Holy shit.
Okay, well damn, it's fucking yeah.
Okay.
Genocide did indeed happen.
It's starting. I will say a couple notes here on like stuff that I would have liked to seen just for like emotional impact. I'm sure that this will be happening later down the line because I've just seen spoiler imagery in my lifetime because I'm an Attack on Titan fan.
Yep.
Would have been good to see civilians being terrified of the rumbling as well.
That's what
would have been really good to see the little boy in the fez seeing the rumbling. That would have driven that message home.
Yeah. Before we talk about the rumbling in its full, and there's also the wholesome flashbacks and the pickpocket kid, we really quickly got to do a few plugs. So first and foremost,
Next week on May 3rd.
we're going to be doing an Attack on Titan Call of Cthulhu one-shot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be the keeper, and I will be playing that game with Benjamin, as well as other people, Kenny, who's also been on the channel, and someone from the Utopia Podcast. You can actually find their podcast down in the description down below.
Hey guys, it's our first like proper collab,
and they're Philly-based, so we
Yeah.
are really excited to do some in-person games and collaborate with some other creators in the area. So,
But on top of that,
Yes.
our anime coverage is not stopping here. For those that listen to the Return of the Movie, our sister podcast, which is hosted by myself, we will be jumping into our next episode, which will be going into anime live action adaptations
Yep.
and that whole goddamn mess.
we're probably going to be talking about the Attack on Titan.
We're going to be
as well as Death Note.
Death Note. We've touched on
Yeah.
Death Note in the past, but we're going to be jumping into a whole bunch more anime stuff. So please, if you were just here for Attack on Titan, we're going to have more content your way.
And speaking of Attack on Titan, I'm specifically also going to be doing another video essay. I've done a full stop video for Attack on Titan No Requiem, but in a similar vein, just doing an in-depth analysis of the show so far, its themes as well as the fandom, because as you and I have had great conversations of the show, the messaging, as well as the fandom's, I guess, willingness to digest it, that's just going to be the topic of that video. So look out for that in the early weeks of May.
Yeah.
So, with all of those announcements, let's first talk about a wholesome flashback.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love the little.
They learned about ice cream.
I love the little Legend of Zelda what's it called? What's the song that's like? Oh
my god! You mean the Clockwork theme from like the darkest game in the entire? Yeah, let's.
I mean, hey, that's actually appropriate. the impending doom.
The impending doom in that, yeah.
But it did sound a lot like that, and
that's actually a neat little bit of inspiration for that. I think it was.
Actually, thinking about the melody now, it probably was that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we finally get this flashback that we've been hinted at in another episode, and also like we've been talking about, like there's something
missing, and we got it.
Yeah, we did.
This is God. I feel just like so bad. Like the entire time I'm watching this, it's just like, oh yeah, this is joyful, and then there's just a pit in your stomach the entire time.
Actually, from a manga reader, I think putting it at the end of the season worked a lot better than I thought it would, because in hindsight, pairing this immediately before the rumbling starts really drives home Eren's POV, all the stuff that he was thinking right before like leaving for the first time, as well as Mikasa's feeling. Like I really do like the placement of this,
and it was able to hold out a lot more horror, I think, for the audience that doesn't support Eren Yeager, of just like what went wrong, what was the point that caused this all to break.
Yeah,
and the combination of just like Mikasa's guilt associated with this.
Yeah.
And I mean, it feels like it's more than just guilt. It also is like this really massive sense of loss.
It's guilt, loss, but also like a delusion breaking, because she even like stated at the beginning, she was like, if people are saying Eren's changed, and like maybe he hasn't, like he's always been the same.
Yeah.
Referencing the killing, like they show the flashback.
Yeah.
And they're like, if this was Eren all along, then what the fuck have I been seeing?
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like also Mikasa just being like,
holy shit.
Yeah, like holy shit, like the person that I love and my only family member is about to commit the worst atrocity ever known to man.
Yeah. And God, it's just that final moment, you're just like, oh, trauma bonding's bad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
we
get the confession too.
That's such a, because you could tell that like she just like kind of trips over, like she was not prepared to have this conversation, but this is something that Eren absolutely needed to know.
Yeah.
And the whole question of just like, if I had, because you can tell in that scene actually that he's hanging on whatever she's going to say, and that's going to inform whatever decision he's going to make.
Eren, like, and we're going to talk about this when we talk about Eren. Eren was looking for reasons not to do it. Like, that's the saddest part of the whole thing. He was like, I just need something to be like, is the outside world just full of terrible people that don't want to kill us? Is there anything worth living for other than my friend's safety? Trying to also rattling with what his future self told him and showed him.
Yeah.
It's sad.
I mean, and then like we get to the whole turning point of this for him. Oh, we're away from the wholesome content now.
Well, because there's not like
it's just like a nice little sprinkle.
It's nice. There's the clown thing, which was funny. Like there's a lot of funny shit. The whole car.
Oh my god.
Car bit.
The Onya Capone just being like, they're buying carrots.
They're like, no, what are you talking about? They're
oh god, that's real.
And it's crazy because like it's those two moments, the ice cream, and then immediately the pickpocket kid comes into question.
Yeah,
and like changes the whole thing. So it's short lived.
I mean, like this is just kind of where we land. Honestly, the subjects of Ymir meeting.
Yeah. In the meeting, they're like talking about, oh yeah, these people who are refugees all around the world who are subjects of Ymir. They're like, they're not really subjects of Ymir. They're just displaced people, and they're like trying to get
and they're victims of like the eugenics that were going on at the time.
But the real people we need to hate are those island devils over there. And then the room just
they're applauding, and this is the same tactic that Willie Tybur used.
Yeah, it's like,
which is Here's the thing: a lot of people will debate the whole point of when war was declared. You have to understand that Eren was waiting in line, waiting for the war to be declared, and then just immediately sprung. He was ready for attack on that moment, and this is a major part of why. Because he knew what the talking points were going to be for this kind of thing.
Yeah. It's also like something else that was stated in the Osmobito meeting, which is important, is that they're talking about like the whole thing about peace and like how realistic do you think it's going to be? If we're talking realistically, this the relationship between Paradise and Marley, if they wanted true peace, not short term, like save the people that are there now, it would take years of fighting, years of death. It would likely cause all of our main characters to die in the fight.
Yeah.
But in maybe 10, 20, maybe even another 50 years, there might be peace.
Yeah.
But from Eren's perspective, that's not enough.
Well, here's the thing, and we've talked about this beforehand. Like, yes, Eren is doing it for his friends, but ultimately he's still being very selfish about it. The only person who we actually ask is Historia, which I have some questions on, by the way.
Oh, we'll talk about the whole Historia thing.
We'll get there. She's the only person that, like, truly knew about what was going on, and I still, like, I'm feeling a little weird because the way that the story is playing out, like, I feel like we're not going to see her anymore.
We'll talk about that, the whole thing.
I definitely want to go there, but ultimately speaking, he doesn't ask any of his other friends if they want to do this, because here, like, Armin and, like, Jean, Connie, everyone in there is like, yeah, this is going to take a very long time. This is going to be really hard, really dangerous.
And they would have been willing to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really only Eren that decided that he was going to put their lives above literally everyone else in the world.
Yeah.
Like, all the people that they were just sharing those drinks with, all the other refugees, he just said, fuck those guys too.
I mean,
he did say fuck those guys too.
It's not fuck those guys, because again, Eren is obviously, and again, this is the line. I'm not saying it's wrong, and I'm not saying it's like a good thing that Eren did it, and I'm not saying that like Eren is like a noble person because he's like, oh yeah, he likes his friends. Like, it's still fucked up.
Yeah.
But to say like, oh, he was just like, fuck all these people, because again, he had the potential to do what he wanted to do. If he really wanted to, he could have gone to Zeke at any point. Yeah. He was looking for opportunities to be like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this for 4 years.
The thing, though, is that it's still, ultimately speaking,
I mean,
he ended up landing on, like, well, these guys are now subject to genocide.
Yeah.
Because that's what I saw when I kissed Historia's hand.
Yeah.
That's the moment where it all went downhill, really. In that moment, and it's not that he saw the future, it's that he saw the future that he showed Grisha.
He experienced the future because it's, again,
he experienced whatever Grisha experienced. Yeah. Well, because it works both ways. He experiences Grisha's experiences, and he can show Grisha things. So it's a whole problem.
Which is why, like, even in this moment, like, where everybody's having a good time, Eren is just like, I'm gonna kill every one of these people. Which, as much as I'm like, yes, he did ultimately say fuck those people because it's like the end. Yeah, but
decision. He's not Flock or the average Jaegerist.
That's the point. That's the biggest thing. And
that's the reason why I still like Eren as a character. And I will always like him as a character, but I will not, like, Flock is a very well-written antagonist. Yeah. But I will never side with Flock. No. And I will never side with Jaegerist because
they ultimately want to destroy the world.
Yeah, it is ultimately speaking, you're saying fuck the guys in the Fez.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a Jaegerist, that's what you are.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just ultimately, I feel like the point of the story, as it goes on more and more, isn't to say, like, Eren's wrong or they're wrong. Like, of course,
it's about cycles of violence and how it's perpetuated, which is the reason why I think that the show's so goddamn good and is very concise on its writing.
It's also, like, evidently pointed out by, like, the last thing that we see, which is a parallel to episode 1, Eren committing the same atrocity and flashing back to the key moment where everything for him took off. Yeah. Before the Founding Titan, before everything happened, the one tragedy that he suffered as a child was like, I lost my mom, you killed them, fuck you guys.
Yep.
So it just sucks that this happened. It had to come to this.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess now we got to go into the real meat and potatoes of the episode, which
let's talk about Eren.
Yeah, let's go to the boy.
Yeah, let's talk about the pickpocket kid and the Marleyan attitude real quick, because that informed the decision as well.
And okay, I actually have a bone to pick with this.
Go for it. The depiction, you mean, of the Marleyans?
No. Of sort of Eren's decision-making process on this. Mm-hmm. Because we now understand what the timeline of events was.
Yes.
We know that it was it was well established well beforehand that the Marleyans were xenophobic assholes who just kind of do this kind of shit and are extremely conservative in how they approach law and order and fascism as a whole. This has been well established, and the thing is, like, I understand fuck Marley entirely. Like, I'm even at the point where, like, there is a reason why I fully agreed with Armin of, like, he's starting the rumbling. They're doing what Zeke's surface plan was, and Zeke's surface plan still would work in a really good way of taking off the biggest enemy off the map and then being able to renegotiate peace from there.
Yes.
It would have taken a very long time, and it would have started with a great act of violence, but it actually had a long-term game plan.
Well, Zeke's plan, the problem with Zeke's plan is that it ultimately got rid of, like, Eldians.
Well, yeah. Well, you're talking about the euthanization. I'm talking about what he pitched to everyone before.
Oh, before he, like...
Before the euthanization.
Yeah.
Before he pulled the rug out from under everyone.
Yeah,
no.
Test run of rumbling, be like, destroy the military, and then back off.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like... That plan actually does make sense. There's a reason why they were all like, it's not a great plan because we have to do a mini rumbling, but it will work.
Yeah. The problem with that that they also stated, and this is also Eren's reasoning too.
Yeah, is that it puts Historia in that situation where she has to essentially pump out a bunch of kids. And
and like also in a weird way, it makes them it brings them closer to the
Eldian Empire.
Yeah, like literally what
no, there's massive problems with it, but of course the issue is that like that's the only leverage that they have.
Yeah,
and instead Eren immediately from this one interaction with one country that has a really terribly established culture, then bases off his decision for the entire world off of that.
Yeah.
That's the problematic part.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it's very childish.
Yeah, it's like going that the entire world has to suffer because this one country, which has been well established to be awful, is awful.
Yeah.
Is a problem.
Yeah. No qualms about that. I think that's like the biggest problem with Eren is that he just, again, because he's so short-sighted in his ideals and his goals, he's willing to...
Well, I think he has a reason to be short-sighted, though, because he's only going to live for 4 years max.
That's true.
And he's only going to live for 4 more years at the most, and he's also, like... I mean, like, after finding out that that's what you're going to do, that you're going to kill all these people, and fate has already destined it, the idea of Eren not actually being free because of fate...
Yeah.
Like, he's got to be fucking depressed after that.
Yeah. Yeah, Eren's going through it.
Like, these are not the actions of a man who wants a better future. These are the actions of a man who wants to die.
Yeah.
He's kind of, like, on the same plane as Reiner, which now makes the
whole comparison,
the same thing.
Because they kind of...
way too on the nose.
They really are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, the fact that they were all... Actually, that goes deeper than I thought, because they were both, like, pushed to be, like, saviors and to be... Because I remember Eren's whole thing in, like, the first 3 seasons was, like, I'm not good enough. Like,
how am I supposed to be the person that saves humanity? Why did I get this Titan?
Yeah.
And then it's being pushed into...
God, there needs to be therapy in this fucking world. I'm just... Like, the more that this goes on, the more I'm like, God, these...
Everyone just... This show would be solved if therapy was a profession.
Yep. All right, let's move on now because I feel like that's kind of. Well, I mean, let's get anything else to talk about.
Well, I mean,
Marleyan.
that's my big bone to pick with the Marleyan conflict. Yes, obviously, it sets the stage for why he makes that decision on how they treat the pickpocket kid.
Right. And also, like, again, time.
But it also kind of backtracks him as well when they are having drinks with his family.
Yeah. And also, again, I also want to point out, like, timeline wise, that happened a day before the meeting, and then the meeting happened, Eren left and was like, I'm gonna do it all to Zeke,
and then he's just been missing.
So, like, I don't know what the time frame is between when he left and when the attack on Marley happened.
Yeah.
If it was a short amount of time, honestly, I could see why Eren did it more. Because if it was if it was quick, if it was...
that window was only open for a little bit.
Right.
Which I actually think might be the situation because, at least in the conversation that he initially has with... Well, Actually, this kind of gets a little weird. So he goes back and talks to Historia about this.
The Historia conversation happened before.
Oh, it happened well before.
Yeah.
Oh, it happened before he even made the decision.
Yeah, the Zeke and Yelena thing, as well as the Historia thing, all of that happened before they even went to Marley. Because remember, he goes to Marley with the group, and then he disappears. And then the next time that they see him is when...
Oh, so he's setting the ground with this with Yelena and tells Historia about it.
Yeah, beforehand.
But all beforehand.
Yeah.
And then it decides to pull the trigger after
Yeah.
that. So the other interesting thing to note is when he saws his leg off and punctures his own eye, that has to happen before he meets Zeke, because we see that he's fully bandaged at that point.
Yes.
Which actually would imply...
Well, he could have met Zeke, been like, here's how we're going to infiltrate you into the thing. We're going to sneak you into a military war zone and then bring you back.
Potentially.
I think there had to have been coordinating for him to get the outfit, to get the armband, to do all of that stuff.
Yeah. The thing is that some of that could have been already set ahead of time with Yelena. Because Yelena would have had enough know-how in order to set that up.
That's honestly...
So there is actually enough precedent in here to imply that it was the quick turnaround that you're talking about, where he had to make that decision quickly.
Yeah. Which, doesn't make it better, but it just makes it less, insane.
Yeah.
Because it's less... Because if it was we're going to spend a month here and we're going to try and,
get our bearings.
Yeah. And he was all that time he was I'm only here a month, oh fuck it, kill everybody now.
But if he had a deadline that he had to hit in order to even make this happen, which is what this was,
I think that's more plausible and makes Eren more likable. Or not likable, but just understandable.
Well, yeah, because I can't condone... Here's the thing. Again, I love this character.
Empathy, not sympathy.
Yeah, those are the big differences.
Yeah.
This is a character who I will always be this is a fantastically written character, great protagonist, and then anti-villain.
Yeah. Understand exactly why he did it. If I were in his positions, I would understand why he did what he did. Doesn't mean it's right.
Exactly.
That's a big thing.
So, all my questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for me and all the people that do not read the manga,
yes.
I just want to start with one thing, because this is a character that I've been waiting for, and we finally get her. 2 parts. Historia.
Yeah.
So the episode kind of cleanly lays out a couple things. I made a joke at one point on one of these episodes about her getting pregnant.
Yes, you did.
Is the implication that that's Eren's child, or is that...
It is definitely a reading. And I will say, I'm not going to... In the manga, it's different. When I read this in the manga, it was just a speech bubble, and then it showed Historia. So it wasn't clear who was saying the phrase, what would you think about me getting pregnant? And it's clear that her being pregnant is a way to delay the MPs feeding Zeke to her.
Yeah.
Because it would endanger the child, and they're like, all right, we'll hold off a little bit, which would give them time to place the wine, do the whole operation, everything.
Yeah.
So that was the plan. Whether or not it's his child or not, that's...
That's completely up in the air, because the only thing that we're told about is just it's just some random boy, and everyone that watches or just consumes media, period, is yeah, I smell bullshit on that, because that never happens in fiction.
Yeah, well, but so the Historia baby thing, we'll
leave that alone for now.
Well, you can theorize all you want.
I
have to immediately just say, this is what they said, and just...
Okay, cool.
Get away from
me. And I guess my other question here is, now that we know that we're getting a part 3, are we actually getting more Historia screen time? Because the way that the story is set up is it seems like the rest of the story is going to be taking place off of the Paradise Island.
Well, because... Okay. Before we get into that, we need to establish what we actually learn.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is that there's either 2 possibilities that come out of this. Either A, Historia was complicit and got her memories erased, or she was complicit and didn't get her memories erased. Either way, Historia knew what Eren was going to do and let it happen.
Which is a fucking problem.
Yeah, which is a very big deal.
And that's the thing, is she folded so quickly, or at least it seems that way, because she said that she did not want Eren to do this, that she would never forgive herself if it were let happen.
And the reason why she folded so quickly is because he flipped it back on her to what he said to
what she said to
her
him
in
when saving his life in the cave.
Which is like, I'll fuck humanity, like whatever. I don't want to do any of that shit. I'm your friend, and I'm the worst person in the world because of that. And it also calls back into question like her whole thing with Ymir, where she was like, I just live for yourself, live a life you're proud of, like, you know, live like basically live for yourself.
So we're kind of getting the selfish take on that.
Yeah,
actually.
where if Historia is offered an option where she gets to live and her people get to live,
she's gonna take it. Yikes.
Yeah. So whether or not she's in the story, that is
a major implication. Yeah, that's a major implication on her character.
Yes, that's the yikes about it.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that about
the decision or just the character.
Well, no, the character. Here's the thing. All of that actually adds up and makes sense for her character. So like, you see, Hama's a great fucking character writer.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like a lot of times on this podcast, you're like, yeah, he'll sometimes ditch character in the name of plot, and I'm just like, I do not get that reading at all.
Not anymore. After we've done an in-depth deep dive.
Now that we spent this much time in analyzing these characters, I just can't say that that's true. Very good character writer. It makes sense why she would co-sign that with her arc with Ymir.
Yeah.
So, like, the way that you just broke that down, it makes sense why she would fold so quickly.
It's just...
Does it really hamper my enjoyment of the character now, though? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's war. Like, there's sides.
Yeah.
That's the problem. In this show, there are hard lines. It's either you are paradise or you are the other side. And,
well, that's the thing, though, is that...
I mean, that's not the way the world is.
That's not the way the world is, but that's the way that it's being presented to these characters.
Yes. And with the limited decisions that they can personally make, it's like, you know, like we say that like you always have a choice in things, but simultaneously conditions of the world and the limitations on your own personal power to
it's a question of what choices are realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sure you could choose to not nuke the world, but apparently that
means like your own death and destruction.
Yeah.
On the flip side, Historia is like, yes, I would be willing to sacrifice myself and my children, but at the same time, that's fucked, and we literally just did a whole rebellion to stop that practice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've talked about this before. There's a constant issue in the show for the characters of they deconstructed so many things to find out that there was a very good reason why they were all in place.
Yep.
Poor
sorry,
kids.
I'm sorry if I ruined that character for you.
Not ruined. I mean, like, I will be less of a Historia fan for this now.
Yeah.
Like, Historia is one of those characters that we've had the conversation about female characters with how femininity versus masculinity is portrayed here, and how the more masculine characters are given more agency. And Historia is the one character that has a lot of femininity that, like, my big issue with her has been lack of screen time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is a majorly important character. This is someone who, like, has the highest office in all the land, and why the fuck are we not seeing them?
And it was because
she is fucking complicit.
She A-okayed a genocide. Yep. Real quick, I also want to bring up one more character that we didn't talk about. I know your brain is getting rocked right now.
I'm so fucked about this.
One more thing we need to talk about. Flock.
Yeah, so I was wrong on something about this.
I mean, you definitely...
I had a good reason to be right about him not knowing about this stuff. And I guess this kind of boils down to Eren's a shit judging character, which actually makes sense because he just kind of everything we talked about and how quickly he dove off this ship into the genocide. And, like, when you're taking a look at it through the lens of, like, he's also depressed at this time and, like, everything seeming hopeless and, like, fate. And even though he knows about fate, he still finds himself being called to it as the only logical thing to do.
Yeah. I did want to offer an alternative to what you said, which is that Eren has a bad judge of character. So you were actually saying, like, the logic that you have is actually, I think, is perfect. In a previous episode, you were like, Eren likes his friends. He does not like Flock. If you keep that logic in mind and you think, because again, if he's seen the future, and if he's like, and if he is putting a Jaegerist in charge, which is right hand man, is he just like going like, did he just set Flock up?
So this kind of this is something that I have joked about, but I do, after this episode, understanding how much Eren did not want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a theory that I only joked about in the past.
Go for it.
But Eren did not want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Eren only knew from flashbacks that he was going to do it. He didn't know if it was successful. There's never been a single claim that he successfully pulls off the entire rumbling.
There's no confirmation.
Yeah, there's no confirmation in any of the information that he knows.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads into the next point. Could he have been setting up his friends in a situation to actually stop him? By putting Flock in charge. By putting someone that was going to actively antagonize them.
I mean...
And there's other elements here that, like, I haven't thought about seriously enough because I hadn't been looking for this because, again, I brought it up as a fucking joke.
But now you're like...
But now I'm like, I have to go back and look at a couple things.
I'm pretty sure that is another anime where they do that. Where a character, like, puts themselves, like, as the main villain and...
it might be... I haven't watched Code Geass. I know that Code Geass does a similar thing.
I think it's Code Geass. But regardless, I'm not saying it's going to happen or if it's not, but it is a trope that's been used before.
And... in this situation, I think calling tropes kind of imply that it's something that's done often.
A story beat.
Yeah, it's a known story beat that could be used.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be very down for that.
Mm-hmm.
That would I would love Eren significantly more as a character if his whole thing was just like, yeah, fate showed me that I had to do this thing and I felt trapped and thus I did the thing, but it didn't tell me if I succeeded, so please stop me. Like, that would be a cool beat. I'd like to see that. Is that likely to happen? Probably fucking not. But little old me in my extended universe, little fan fiction, whatever. Fiction.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Think it, AOT no Requiem.
If that's the plot of AOT no Requiem, fuck me, I guess.
I don't know where it's still coming out, so we'll figure that out. It's coming out soon. The next chapter. But,
okay.
All that shit. God. Okay. Last flashback that we have before the rumbling is the meeting with Zeke. Big thing that happens. It basically confirms that the Ackerman thing, like instinct, like awakening, is a thing.
Yes.
But the ingrained behavior and the protection of the host isn't. Protection of the host.
Yes. Which means Eren is a manipulative little shit.
Yeah, he lied. He straight up lied to Mikasa.
Yep. Honestly, no, here's the thing. Like, the entire episode after that is just Eren it's literally just Eren manipulating people in an intercut sequence.
I just thought about it. It's actually worse and sadder than that. Because when Eren like asked Mikasa, like, what am I to you? I think partially was, like what I was saying, like a reason to stay.
Yeah.
But also, I think he just genuinely maybe didn't know. Maybe he was like also like trying to like explain away why Mikasa around him cares for him. Because remember, Eren is a person who like puts himself down.
Yeah.
Eren does not see the value of Eren.
No, and
so if Mikasa's like, Eren, I gotta protect you, he's
like, why?
Why? There's no, like, is it because I saved you? Is it because we're family? And he's even asking Zeke, like, is it because she's an experiment in a long line of people destined to protect kings? And Zeke is like, bro,
she just likes you, dude.
No bitches. Like, come on. Damn.
Oh, man. No, that is one of the saddest things about this entire thing, is like, going back to that episode when it aired a year ago, my jaw hit the fucking floor when he said that to Mikasa. Like,
what? When
Eren said that I always hated you and did the whole thing and gaslit the shit out of her.
That was fucking...
Yeah. Horrible moment. That's our first conversation with the man.
Yeah.
Between these three characters.
Between this 4-year time skip.
Yeah. And, like, that was all just him pushing them away.
Yeah.
And like the other like really unfortunate thing with Eren is like a lot of this behavior is very reminiscent of I'm gonna I guess content warning, going to be talking a little bit about self-harm and suicide, but he has a lot of the behavior that we see here of like the actively distancing from other people, the sort of like even when he's in these moments of catharsis where he's really enjoying things, he's leaning into it a lot, and then extremely distant the next bit. It's very close to the kind of behavior you would see from someone who does not plan on living for much longer. Because I'm sure in Eren's mind, once he starts this rumbling, that's it for him.
Well,
and it also lines up with him just not knowing his own worth and wanting to know why this person cares so much.
damn.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
This is the character.
See,
this is the missing character piece, and like
every time you go like he just decided to say fuck these people, I'm like
he said fuck it to himself as well.
It's like
do not get it.
there's like,
do not get me wrong.
There's like so much there's so many layers of fucked in the show. It's like Eren just pulled another trigger. It's like the whole thing like everybody's been stacking gunpowder, Eren just lit the fuse kind of deal.
Yeah. I feel fucking bad for this dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, buddy.
You know who I feel worse for? The fucking soldiers who were on the fucking front lines of that shit.
I don't know if I feel bad for the soldiers. I feel more bad for the civilians. Here's the thing. Like, honestly, like a lot of Marley, I'm just kind of like,
what? No,
even governmental parts are like the parts where like the power structure parts and everything. I'm just kind of like, yeah, but like this country did deserve to get toppled,
even in the same way that like,
but not genocided.
Even the same way that I feel bad for the Jaegers that Connie shot.
Yeah,
I can feel bad for the soldiers on the front lines who got fucking vaporized. Which holy fuck!
Off of water mist, by the way. That's just how hot they are. They are boiling the water in the ocean to the point where it will singe the flesh off your body.
That is horrifying.
Yeah.
Honestly, congratulations. This is the most creative apocalypse I've probably ever seen in media. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
also, the animation, how fast those fuckers go.
Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't.
Fast.
I knew that they were gonna swim. I didn't think they were. Here's the thing: seeing the Titans swim for the first time is always like a gut sinking feeling, and I was prepared for that. I was not prepared for the flesh shot where it just rips off because that's not in the manga. and I also was not prepared for like the torpedo speed at which these fuckers were.
Yeah, they're just going.
They're just.
You know what's kind of funny, actually?
Yeah.
Like, they just had like miles and miles and miles of more barricade. Like that blockade thing actually was kind of smart. They just needed more ships.
They just didn't. But that was all of them. that was all of them.
That was all of them. Yeah, they just didn't prepare for real rumbling because everyone's been
because they were like the technology's going to catch up, but it didn't catch up yet.
No, not yet, and they weren't anticipating. I mean, that's kind of the funny thing, though, is like, why did you guys declare war?
It's the thing that they were like, we are afraid of the thing that's like we caused the thing that we were afraid of.
Yeah.
That's the
declaring war
irony.
declaring war. Here's the thing, like I will always be like declaring war was not a reason enough for Eren to go in and do that because he was ultimately just looking for an excuse anyway. Mm-hmm. He was going to do it. But why you guys knew that this was an option that the other side had when you guys did the war declaring. You guys had no proof about the founding Titan stuff.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that they were like
they were literally just anticipating like we have to declare war because he could do the rumbling any day.
No, I think that was the dogma. I think that was like that wasn't real. Like I think realistically the people in charge because remember Reiner knows,
spells out. Well, actually, Reiner doesn't understand the founding Titan stuff.
No, but he knows that Eren used it once, reported that to Marley, and then it's also this kind of thing like, okay, if Eren's had the founding Titan
for this long and they haven't done it,
why? And the only like reason that we can suspect is probably that they just don't have the capacity to do so.
Yeah.
Like that's just the thing. Like,
but here's the thing: still, if you're declaring war and you know that the enemy has a potential to do this,
Why risk it?
Yeah, why risk it? Because you also don't have confirmation that it's because they didn't have the capacity to use it. It also could be, hot take here, Paradise was trying to build diplomatic reasons. Maybe the rumbling might look bad diplomatically.
Yeah. Again, it's kind of it's also the whole thing of like, we also want to take over Paradise for their resources.
Yeah, it's this double. It really comes down to just Marley being fucking stupid about it.
Yeah, we saw that the military was already incompetent.
Yeah, that was an option the entire time.
Yeah.
You declare war, and then it happens.
Yeah. This is kind of why, again, this is also the reason why it's, because right now you sound like a Jaegerist.
Yeah, no. Here's
It's very easy to...
It's very easy, and I'm not condoning the genocide. I'm just being like, guys, why the fuck would you do that? You're so, maybe, wait a couple of years, get the technology where you need it to be, and then do it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, if this happened in the real world and there was another nation that was like, we can launch nukes at any time, and then a soldier was like, dude, I saw him press the button and launch a nuke. Because that's what Reiner effectively saw.
Yeah.
He was like, I felt him use it. He can use it.
Yeah.
I would be like, we gotta
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, that's kind of current times right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just maybe don't fuck with the guys with the nuclear buttons, especially if you don't have something to counteract the nuclear button.
Yeah. I think it's also like, you think it's like an island, you're like, a couple hundred titans. I think I did a math on how many there actually would probably be. I think it was if you did the radius of Madagascar times 3.
Well, it's not the radius of Madagascar itself, because the islands only start about...
Sorry, circumference.
Yeah.
Of an area of land in Madagascar.
And they're based off of how big the wall... Well, they actually give wall measurements.
Do they?
In the... Yeah, season 1, those in-between cards.
Oh. I gotta look back.
Yeah, they there's a place that
season 1.
Season 1, when they're being this is wall, all the lore building cards and and shit in between give you that information.
Oh shit!
Someone can do the math.
I think I did the math at one point. I think it was something like 60 something million titans. Oh. It was a lot. Basically, the whole plan is we are gonna get them all in a line, and then another line, and then another line, and then another line, and then we're just gonna walk. And then it's just gonna fucking
gonna bulldoze all that.
Yep, you're sweeping a table. Just fucking
clean start.
Clean start.
I still don't think Eren understands how ecology works, because Paradise will not survive if the rest of the world doesn't have forests.
It's not even ecology. It's also just sociology and just understanding how people work. Because I've seen this argument before with the Jaegerists and also with Eren in this episode where he's like, "Oh, if we just kill everyone." Then everything will be fine. Which is we're just gonna,
again, the Titan War, but on Paradise.
People fight for random shit.
Yeah.
Religion is not real. It's just a thing we made up. It's a thing that we just decided to be we all agree, and then there's other people who are we think of something. I mean, I'm being somewhat facetious.
Yeah,
but the idea is that people just will create these artificial and barriers between themselves in order to justify conflict.
And I think that's one of the things that this episode does well, is that Eren's not coming at this at all with a sharp mind.
No.
He is hopeless.
It's simple. It's simplistic.
It's just, he's been presented in a situation where he knows that he's going to do it, and he's trying to fight against it, and he can't bring himself to.
It really is. Yeah, I know you quoted it. It is the Kylo Ren meme. I know it. I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
That's just kind of what this all I feel endlessly terrible for this guy because of this.
Okay, so final things that we need to talk about real quick, just final wrap up, because this is the final.
This is the final for this season.
Final season, part 2. Technically season 5. Because if we're
season 3 can also be broken up into 2 seasons, but
regardless,
yeah.
I guess. What do you think is going to happen? I mean, obviously the rumbling's going to continue next season. What else do you expect?
Honestly, we're literally at the point in the narrative for this where I'm I literally have no fucking idea. For all I know, there's so many jokes about Jean being a horse, and there's so many, for all I know at this point, he could just turn into an actual fucking horse by the end of this, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Like a transformer?
was thinking like
He gets the Beast
Horse
Titan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beast Titan. Yeah, he gets Beast Titan, but he's a horse.
he like looks in the mirror like, fuck. And, damn it. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this episode and this coverage of Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 28, The Dawn of Humanity, and the finale of Attack on Titan Season 4, Part 2. It has been quite the journey getting here.
Yeah.
Literally starting at the beginning of the show and working our way here.
Yeah. Also, I just gotta know, so Too Fast is going to be taking a little bit of a hiatus, mostly because we just do not have other shows like this that are really worth this in-depth coverage.
Yes.
However, if there's something in the nerd animation or just even general TV world that y'all feel strongly about, let us know.
We'll cover it.
Yeah, we are open to suggestions at this moment in time.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Abraham. That is Ben. And this has been 2Fast2Movie. New name pending.
Oh yeah, we forgot that. Yeah, we're probably going to be renaming the show because 2Fast2Movie's fucking stupid.
Bye!